All right. Welcome, one and all, to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I am your host today, John. And if you could, hit that like and subscribe button, leave some comments. We always appreciate them. And this is Friday. I hope you have a good weekend. There's going to be quite a bit of sports on. We got some hockey, we got some basketball playoff action, finals action, which is always nice, baseball. We got the Canadian Open in golf, which is always a really nice tournament. And let's just get to recapping what happened in the NBA. Indiana, the comeback kids did it again in OKC. I believe they were a 9-point underdog. They are resilient as hell. They were down 15 points with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Tyrese Halliburton, Mr. Clutch, doing his Jerry West impression, hit a shot with point 0.3 seconds, not 3 seconds, but point 0.3 of 1 second to send them into victory. That was their first lead of the game. I thought OKC was just going to throttle them. I'll be honest, I'm not going to be like everybody else on social media. Oh, I saw it coming. They were on a roll. No, I watched that first quarter. It was like 25-15. I was like, oh my God. Indiana had 19 turnovers in the first half. I thought they were just overmatched with the OKC's defense. Obviously, I was wrong. It was the first buzzer beater since Michael Jordan hit one in game one of the 97 series against Utah. We know how that ended up. I still think Byron Russell in game six is going backwards. I think that was Jordan's last game for the Bulls, too, actually. Like I said, the Pacers trailed by 15. Didn't give up. These guys are just unresilient. It was their only lead of the game. Indiana had 24 turnovers for the game. Like I said, 19 in the first half. OKC, epic collapse. It's just terrible. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. They are the second youngest team ever to make it to the finals. Maybe this is part of the learning curve. They did collapse against Jokic and Denver. They came back to win that series. Maybe they're going to learn something from it. Obviously, they're still the heavy favorites to win this series. I think I saw that they're minus 450 still. I mean, it was just a great game. I mean, I'll tell you who the real winner in this is. Just from a marketing standpoint, ABC makes about $100 million a game. And if you watch ABC or ESPN, they are just terrible with the NBA. And I really do think Bill Simmons, who's the go to podcasting for sports, is right when he says they are going to destroy inside the NBA. Because what they do is monetize everything. Instead of having 10 minutes for halftime, they have a minute and a half, and they are going to run every goddamn commercial and every banner they can to make every dollar, right? Because they got to show a profit. That game right there, instead of a sweep, maybe it'll end up being a gentleman's sweep. Who knows? Maybe it'll go 7 games. But every game past 4 is $100 million in ABC's pocket. Now, Indiana could sweep them. I don't think many people think that's a likely scenario. But right there, ABC just made $100 million. Yeah, kudos to them. They're the ones putting out the billions of dollars. So, it is what it is. But, God, hell of a game. Hell of a game. That's why we watch the NBA, because you just never know. 15 points with 9 minutes left, right? Spectacular. All right, tonight we're going to have game 2 of the Stanley Cup, Edmonton against Florida. Florida wasted away a 3-1 lead, lost in overtime to Leon Draisaitl, his second goal of the game, and they won 4-3. We shall see which team shows up. I got to tell you, I really did like Florida to win this series. Brother Scott, who we do a podcast with, liked Edmonton. They are the comeback kids too. I don't know if they just have a different level of talent than everybody else, but boy, they sure showed it on. They turned it on against Florida. When they were down 3-1, they just didn't give up. And the McDavid and the Draisaitl thing, man, that is just so hard to overcome. All right, let's move to baseball. And I don't even know where to start with this. I really admire the Atlanta Braves organization. They are a solid organization. Strider came back from Tommy John surgery. They lost Max Fried. Acuna was coming back from an injury, but you kind of always thought it was going to be okay. You really did. They've been they started out terrible. They were, I think, at one point 10 games under 500. They've kind of been getting close to that Mendoza line for being at 500, and they just can't quite get there. At some point, they're one game under, they're 2 games under, and then they go on a 2-game losing streak. And, right now, they're currently 7 games under 500. But the game today, baseball's a different animal, but today was one of those soul wrenching games. They had a 6-run lead in the ninth inning. They got the first out. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks plated 7 runs. They won 11-10. Iglesias took the loss. It was just a horror show. I mean, I'll be honest, I was following kind of like what's going on in the world of sports, and I saw, oh wow, it's 10-4. Okay, this game's over. 1 out in the ninth. Yeah, no, not quite. I guess Arizona didn't give up. Corbin Carroll, just the guys. It's just one of those games. And I think the Braves, when they had a 6-run lead in the ninth, were like, they had won their last 448 games in a row. I mean, it was just an amazing statistic. I can't even imagine after 1 out what that was. I mean, they literally, when you have probability rates, it was 99.99999. Like, wow. It's like pi, right? There's like 20 numbers after it, right? I'm sure they're going to be able to bounce back, but man, that was a tough pill to swallow for the Atlanta Braves today. All right. The Royals beat they lost. Excuse me. Hey, John, call it like it is. Come on. God dang. Cardinals beat them 6-5. I keep wondering what's going to happen to the Cardinals because they're 34-27, and I think they're smoke and mirrors. I don't believe there's any depth there, but at the end of the day, Romero got the win. He's 2-3 with a 3.2 ERA. The White Sox break up the White Sox. They beat the Tigers 3-2. Wilson gets the win for the White Sox. The White Sox are actually a respectable 20-43. 23 games under 500 after 63. And I'm saying they're respectable. I guess everything is in the prism of how do you look in Colorado Rockies. The Blue Jays beat the Phillies 9-1. Athletics took down the Twins 14-3, and we are going to see what happens with the Twins with the Pablo Lopez, injury. The Orioles beat the Mariners again. What a shock, 4-3. Zach Ellen got the win. He's 5-2 with a 4.47 ERA. The Orioles are 25-36. If you had to make a bet, would you say the Orioles are going to get to 5 games under 500? I don't know. 78 and 83. I don't know if they're going to get there. 11 right now. I know they had a bad first couple months, but how do they turn that around? I don't see it. But, there's a lot of things I don't see. The Giants beat the Padres 3-2. Actually, the Giants are playing some pretty good baseball. Adames hasn't been a very good free agent pickup, but at the end of the day, you're 35-28. You're in the hunt. Dodgers, Conforto, finally, in the midst of a huge slump, came back, got some key hit, and they beat the Mets 6-5. Astros beat the Pirates 8-2. And in the final games, we got, I was so smooth with that. I was just so smooth. Cubs beat the Nationals 7-1. The Cubs are 39-23. Who saw them being 16 games over 500? The Yankees beat the Guardians 4-0. And the Rangers got swept by the Rays 4-3. The Rangers, I don't know what's going on. They just aren't hitting. I mean, they're just playing terrible. And in the nightcap, the Royals did take down the Cardinals 7-5. All right, that's it from Off the Rail Sports Podcast. If you could, please hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Hit the comments, and we'll see you soon on Off the Rail Sports Podcast.